Sapphire, it's your girl Ilka back at it again with another tutorial. If you're curious to see how I achieved this glittery aqua blue and orange combo, just keep watching. Okay, so we want to start out looking as basic as possible. I am taking my Morphe 519 blending brush and sweeping Tangerine from the Watch Me blush palette into my crease, and then packing in Fired Up by Morphe. Next, I'm taking Old Banana from the Watch Me blush palette and sweeping that on my brow bone into the orange. Here I am taking a denser brush. I'm taking the colors Cairo and Ardelle from the Masquerade palette, and I'm just sweeping that into my crease as well, creating more depth. Going back into the Watch Me blush palette, I'm taking the color Hot Cocoa and just packing that into the outer corner. Now it's time to cut the crease. I am using a trick where I place concealer at the bottom of the lid. I look up and it transfers to the top of the lid where I should be cutting my crease out. Now I'm just taking my concealer and filling it in. For a sharp, clean line, I am using a liner brush and taking my concealer and just going over my cutout just to make sure everything is nice and neat. With my Morphe 167 brush, I am taking the color Zola from the Masquerade palette and packing that into my inner corner of my lid. And then after that, I'm taking the color Dalia from the same palette and packing that into the middle, making sure I blend the two colors where they meet. Here I'm just taking the color Hot Cocoa again and packing that into my outer corner, also making sure all the colors are blended nicely, making sure there's no harsh lines. Everything is just coming together so beautifully. Okay, here comes the fun part. I am taking my Morphe M224 concealer brush. I'm taking the NYX glitter primer as well as JCat's shimmer glitter in the color Jungle Sapphire, and I am packing that over my lid in sections, pretty much where the blue eyeshadow is. Okay, so next I'm going back in with that liner brush. I'm taking my NYX glitter primer and tracing a small thin line across my crease. And I'm going back on top of that with the JCat's glitter shimmer in the color Golden Pumpkin. For my lash line, I'm just using a regular liquid liner. I'm being pretty simple with this line, but you can definitely get crazy and dramatic if you want. Next, I'm using my Old Faithful of a Duo Lash Glue in the color Black. I'm using some wispy lashes from Ardelle and my MAC tweezers to get these lashes on and popping. At this point, the tape and the patch can go, and we're going to prime the skin using the Angel Veil Primer. I swear I love this stuff. It creates a nice layer for the makeup to sit on. I'm going to go in with my LA Girl Pro Conceal. I'm using the orange color to color correct these dark circles under these eyes, child. Y'all know it's Team No Sleep over here, so we got to get these under eyes together. I'm also using a dampened beauty blender to blend this color corrector out so that it doesn't dry out my under eyes. Next, I'm taking my Fenty Beauty Pro Filter foundation in the color 420. I'm using that same beauty blender and making sure I apply it all over and blend it out evenly. So I started using the technique where I fill my brows in after I apply my foundation, and I just think it helps with the sculpting process a lot better. You don't have to use as much concealer around the brows because you already have like a blank canvas from the foundation, which I'm enjoying. That brow pencil is from NYX Cosmetics, and this brow gel is also from NYX Cosmetics, and I like to use that just to fill in and set my brows. Use a little concealer around the brows and use my beauty blender to blend it out. Back with my LA Girl Pro Conceal in Warm Honey and that beauty blender, which is from the Crayon case. I'm just patting on my concealer and making sure the line under my eyeshadow is nice and clean. I'm also using that same concealer for my points of highlight, which is my chin, my cupid's bow, down the bridge of my nose, and my forehead area. I'm also going to use a little bit of that concealer underneath my cheekbones to help those pop out. And then go back in with the beauty blender and blend it all out. Going in with my Maybelline Superstay Stick Foundation in the color Mocha. I'm going in and contouring my face, and then of course going back in with the beauty blender to blend it all out. You want to make sure the contour and the highlight along with the foundation blends and flows very smoothly. Back at it with my beauty blender, I'm taking the tip of it and using it to set my under eye with my setting powder. I'm also going to set anywhere I applied concealer. This is just going to prevent any creasing throughout the day. I'm also going to use my little eraser that I got from the Crayon case and just use that to make sure my lines under my cheekbones are nice and straight. And here I'm just using an angle brush to go over my contour to set that as well. Anywhere you put a cream, you want to go over it with a powder to set it. Now I'm just taking a clean powder brush and sweeping away any extra powder that I might have had left over from setting my highlight. I'm also blending in whatever is left on my face. After that, I am taking my black Opal True Color Soft Velvet Finishing Powder in the color medium and just finishing my face off with that and bringing everything together. And I am going back in with my contour brush, not adding any extra product, just to make sure my contour is still there. And with a blending brush, I'm going back into my Morphe palette using the color Fired Up to sweep that underneath my lash line, making sure it's blended nice and evenly. And then I'm taking this light blue pencil that I have. I can't recall the name of it. I will list it below later. And I'm just lining my waterline and then going back in with the color Dalia from the Masquerade palette and packing that gently into my waterline. I'm taking that color Old Banana for my brow bone and popping that into the inner corners. And then with another eyeshadow brush, I'm just taking a little black liner to brush into my lash line. And I usually use a matte finishing spray, but I'm using a dewy one in this case just because a lot of my products were mattifying. I don't want to be too matte in this dry, cold weather. And then, of course, finish those eyes off with a coat of mascara on the bottom lashes. So, y'all, I had this newfound love for the Honor Roll highlighter from the Crayon case. It is so pretty. I'm taking my fan brush and popping it right on the high points of my cheeks. I'm going to take a little bit and put it on the button of my nose, on my cupid's bow, and with my finger place a little bit in between my eyes. It just adds a nice little glow right there. I'm then going to go in with my powder brush and just blend over those areas. I'm often asked if my beauty mark is real, and baby, it is so real. I just like to go over it with liquid liner because it sometimes gets lost in the makeup. I'm also going to use that Tangerine and Fired Up eyeshadow as my blush because I don't have any peachy orange blushes. And for my lips, I'm using a brown liner with the lipstick Orange from MAC, and it just pulls the whole look together. And that's it. That's all she wrote. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it for you. Do me a favor and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Leave any comments, questions, concerns, or feedback, whatever you want to see in the next video, down in the comment section. I want you guys to follow me on turn up. Follow me on all of my social media. My handle is Image by Ilka. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace and love.